If I could go back and tell my younger self one thing about money, it wouldn't be about budgeting or saving. It would be this. Because what I'm about to share with you today didn't just improve my finances, it completely changed the way I live. This is the one financial lesson I learned the hard way. The one that could have saved me years of stress, poor decisions, and missed opportunities. And once I applied it, everything started to shift. If you feel like you've been working hard but still falling behind, this video might be the turning point you've been looking for.
The regret.
For years, I thought managing money meant just spending less. I obsessed over discount codes, skipped little pleasures, and constantly felt guilty every time I spent $1. But here's the truth, I was playing defense. I wasn't building wealth. I was surviving. The biggest mistake I made wasn't about overspending, it was thinking that frugality alone would lead to freedom. I waited too long to understand that the real game changer wasn't how much I saved, but how I thought about money in the first place. Looking back, I regret not learning this earlier. Money is not just something you save. It's something you use strategically. It's a tool to build, to grow, to buy back your time and create options. And the sooner you understand this, the faster you stop reacting to money, and start using it with purpose.
The turning point.
It all changed when I stopped asking, how can I spend less? And started asking, how can I spend better? That one shift forced me to look at my expenses in a completely different way. Instead of treating every dollar spent as a loss, I started evaluating whether it brought me closer to the life I wanted, or further away from it. I remember one specific moment. I had been putting off buying a $40 ergonomic chair for months because I thought it was a luxury. Meanwhile, I was spending hours a day working with back pain, losing focus, and burning out. When I finally bought it, not only did my productivity improve, but so did my energy and motivation. That one smart purchase ended up paying for itself many times over, not just in comfort, but in output. It made me realize, not all spending is bad. Some spending actually makes you richer, not just financially, but mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that realization? That was the beginning of a new strategy one now live by.
The framework I use today.
Since that turning point, I started using a simple mental framework before every purchase. Is this an expense, a convenience, or an investment? An expense is something that disappears. It doesn't return value. A convenience saves me time or effort, but might not build long-term value. An investment, even if small, improves my life in a meaningful and lasting way. So when I spend money today, I prioritize items that fall into the investment category. That includes things like high-quality tools I use daily, a gym membership that keeps me healthy, or an online course that increases my income skills. These purchases don't feel like sacrifices, they feel like progress. And here's the rule I live by now. If something helps me save time, protect my health, or grow my potential, I no longer see it as a cost, I see it as a smart move.
10 things you should never be cheap about.
Being frugal is smart. But being cheap? That can quietly sabotage your success. In this section, I'll show you 10 things that people often try to save money on, but it ends up costing them far more in the long run. If you want to succeed in life, there are some areas where being cheap is actually a mistake. 1. Cheap healthcare leads to expensive problems. Trying to save money by skipping checkups, ignoring symptoms, or buying the cheapest medications might feel smart at first. But the long-term cost of untreated issues or medical emergencies can be far worse. Your health is not an area where you should cut corners. 2. Bad internet and cheap tech kill productivity. If you work online, create content, or run a side hustle, a slow internet connection or unreliable laptop can ruin your momentum. Frustration, delays, and lost time eventually cost you money. Sometimes, upgrading your tools is what unlocks your income potential. 3. Free financial tools aren't always enough. Yes, there are many free budgeting tools, but some lack features or give inaccurate reports. If you're serious about managing money, sometimes it's worth paying a little for tools that actually help you stay on track. Cheap tools can lead to expensive decisions. 4. Avoiding education and skill building. People often avoid buying courses, books, or mentorships because they seem expensive. But that mindset delays your progress. Skills are assets, and the faster you build them, the faster you grow. Being cheap with your education is being cheap with your future. 5. Cheap furniture can hurt your health. That $25 desk chair might seem like a great deal, until it starts giving you back pain or wrecking your focus. If you spend hours working or studying at home, investing in comfort and posture is essential. Discomfort drains energy and hurts productivity. 6. Skimping on sleep and recovery. People will spend money on fast food or gadgets, but sleep on an old pillow or live with noisy distractions. Sleep quality affects everything: your decisions, your mood, and your performance. A good mattress, blackout curtains, or a white noise machine is not a luxury. It's smart spending. 7. Ignoring car maintenance. Skipping oil changes or using low-quality parts to save a few dollars often leads to massive repair bills later. Worse, it can create safety risks. Taking care of your car is not just about saving money, it's about protecting yourself and others. 8. Refusing to pay for help. Trying to do everything yourself, fixing your own tech issues, cleaning everything, or filing complex taxes, just to save money? Sometimes that's not efficiency, it's a waste of time. Outsourcing or asking for help can be the most cost-effective decision you make. 9. Skipping insurance and hoping for the best. Not having insurance may save money today, but it exposes you to financial disaster. A single emergency or accident can wipe out everything. Health, income, and property insurance are not optional if you're serious about long-term success. 10. Eating cheap but unhealthy food. You can survive on instant noodles, but you'll feel tired, unfocused, and sluggish. What you eat affects your energy and your brain. Nutritious food may cost more now, but it pays you back in clarity, performance, and long-term health. There's a difference between being smart with money and being short-sighted. Being cheap in the wrong areas leads to fatigue, setbacks, and hidden costs. If you want to succeed, invest wisely. Not just in things, but in your health, your tools, and your growth.
Final thoughts on how to apply this to your life.
Frugal living isn't about spending the least amount of money, it's about spending money with intention. It means cutting out what doesn't matter so you can afford what does. The things we just covered are not about indulgence. They're about smart, long-term thinking. Every purchase you make is either moving you closer to the life you want, or keeping you stuck. So take a step back and ask, am I saving money at the cost of my health? At the cost of my energy, my focus, or my growth? Because being frugal doesn't mean being cheap. It means being wise. Wise enough to know that some things are worth every penny. Here's your action step. Look at your budget. Identify one area where spending a little more would make your life better, easier, or healthier. Then make the change. It doesn't have to be big. But that one upgrade might unlock more than you think. Thanks for watching. If this video helped shift your mindset or gave you clarity, consider subscribing for more. This is just the beginning of building a smarter financial future, on your own terms.